Have you ever wondered how a letter could change the course of history? Let's journey back to the year 1939. In that year, Albert Einstein, the renowned physicist with the wild hair and the mesmerizing eyes, penned a letter that would set off a chain of events leading to one of the most significant technological developments of the 20th century. It wasn't a love letter, nor was it a scientific paper. It was a warning to President Franklin D. Roosevelt about the potential of a new kind of weapon, one that could harness the raw, destructive power of the atom. This was no idle speculation. Einstein, along with several other scientists, had been tracking the work of their colleagues in Germany. They knew that German scientists had successfully split the atom, and they understood the implications of this breakthrough. The potential for a weapon of unimaginable power was now a reality, and the fear was that the Nazis would be the first to realize it. So Einstein's letter was a call to action, a plea for urgency. It was the spark that led to the creation of the Manhattan Project, an unprecedented scientific undertaking that brought together some of the brightest minds of the time. They were tasked with one goal: develop a nuclear weapon before the enemy. It was a race against time, fueled by fear and uncertainty. The scientific community was on edge, their work shrouded in secrecy. They knew they were treading on dangerous ground, playing with forces they barely understood. But they also knew the stakes. If they failed, the consequences could be catastrophic. Yet despite the fear, there was also a sense of excitement, a feeling of being on the brink of something monumental. This was uncharted territory, a new frontier in the world of science. And with each experiment, each calculation, they were pushing the boundaries of what was known, what was possible. Thus, with a mere letter, the race to develop the most destructive weapon the world had ever seen had begun. Imagine being part of a secret project that could potentially end a world war or start a new one. Welcome to the heart of the Manhattan Project, an operation shrouded in such secrecy that even Vice President Truman was kept in the dark until he assumed the presidency. A project so clandestine, its name was derived from the innocuous Manhattan Engineer District where it was headquartered. But don't let the name fool you. This was no ordinary engineering project. The Manhattan Project was a concerted war effort, the likes of which the world had never seen. Its mission? To harness the power of the atom and create a weapon of unprecedented destruction. It was a race against time and against the Axis powers, who were believed to be pursuing the same deadly technology. A veritable dream team of international scientists gathered to work on this monumental task. Among them, familiar names like Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb, and Enrico Fermi, the architect of the nuclear age. These brilliant minds were tasked with solving the unsolvable, doing the impossible. The work was intense, the stakes were high, and the resources were vast. The project employed over 130,000 people and cost the modern equivalent of $26 billion. All this effort was funneled into the creation of one thing: the world's first nuclear bomb. The fruit of their labor was codenamed Little Boy, a name that belied the power it held. An ironic twist on the innocence of childhood, this little boy was anything but. Weighing in at over 9,000 pounds and standing 10 feet tall, this was no ordinary child's play. Little Boy was a titan, a monster created to bring an end to the most devastating conflict the world had ever known. And so, Little Boy was born, a creation that was anything but innocent. The world stood on the precipice, unknowingly about to be plunged into a new age, the nuclear age. August 6, 1945, a date that will forever be etched in the annals of human history. It was on this day that the world saw the destructive potential of nuclear power unleashed. The city of Hiroshima, bustling with life, was instantly transformed into a scene of unimaginable devastation. The United States, in the throes of a brutal and bloody conflict with the Empire of Japan, made the decision to drop an atomic bomb named Little Boy on Hiroshima. The order came from President Harry S. Truman, who was determined to end World War II swiftly and decisively. This marked the first time in history that a nuclear weapon was used in warfare. As Little Boy detonated approximately 600 meters above the city, a blinding flash of light was followed by a shockwave that leveled buildings and ignited fires across a 4.5-mile radius. The city was enveloped in a mushroom cloud, a chilling spectacle that would become the symbol of nuclear devastation. In the immediate aftermath, an estimated 140,000 people lost their lives. The city was reduced to rubble, with only a few structures left standing amidst the devastation. Yet the impact of the bombing extended far beyond the initial blast. The survivors, known as hibakusha, bore the brunt of the long-term effects of radiation exposure. Many suffered from acute symptoms like burns and radiation sickness, while others would face a lifetime of chronic health issues and the social stigma associated with being a hibakusha. The bombing of Hiroshima was a turning point in World War II, leading to Japan's surrender just days later. Yet it also sparked a debate about the ethics and consequences of nuclear warfare that continues to this day. The memory of Hiroshima serves as a stark reminder of the potential for human destruction in the quest for power. In the blink of an eye, Hiroshima was no more, and the world had irrevocably changed. The bombing marked the dawn of the nuclear age, an era that we continue to grapple with more than 70 years later. With the mushroom cloud over Hiroshima, the world was thrust into the nuclear age. The fallout was immediate and profound. Barely a week after the bombing, Japan surrendered, bringing an end to the horrific World War II. But the cost of peace was steep. The city of Hiroshima was reduced to ashes, and countless lives were lost or forever altered. The bombing of Hiroshima sparked a debate that continues to this day. Was it a necessary evil, a last resort to end a brutal war? Or was it an unnecessary act of violence, a horrifying demonstration of power that crossed ethical lines? There are no easy answers, and the debate rages on. But what's undeniable is the impact of that fateful day on August 6, 1945. It marked the beginning of the nuclear age, an era defined by a paradoxical mix of fear and progress. On the one hand, the destructive power of nuclear weapons hung like a dark cloud over the world. On the other, the promise of nuclear energy offered hope for a brighter future. The bombing of Hiroshima also triggered a nuclear arms race that lasted for the better part of the 20th century, a high-stakes game of brinkmanship between superpowers. It spurred a relentless pursuit of nuclear superiority, with nations stockpiling weapons capable of unimaginable destruction. But amid the fear and tension, a movement for nuclear disarmament emerged. It was a global call to action, a plea for sanity in an age of nuclear madness. It reflected a growing recognition that the only way to win a nuclear war is to prevent it from happening in the first place. From Einstein's warning to the ashes of Hiroshima, the nuclear bomb has left an indelible mark on our history and continues to shape our future. It's a stark reminder of the power of human ingenuity and the responsibility that comes with it. The legacy of Hiroshima is a cautionary tale, a warning from history that we ignore at our peril. So, what have we learned from this journey into the past? Our exploration began with Einstein's warning, a grim prophecy born from the mind of one of the greatest thinkers of the 20th century. Recognizing the potential of nuclear energy, he penned a letter to President Roosevelt, cautioning against the destructive power that could be unleashed. His words were the first to illuminate the path to a new era, one that would be cast in the shadow of nuclear fear. We then delved into the Manhattan Project, a venture cloaked in secrecy and teeming with some of the brightest minds of the time. Driven by the urgency of war and the promise of scientific discovery, these individuals embarked on a mission to harness nuclear energy, inadvertently setting the stage for a new kind of warfare. The project, a testament to human ingenuity, also serves as a chilling reminder of the lengths to which we are willing to go in pursuit of power. Our journey took a somber turn as we revisited the bombing of Hiroshima, a moment forever etched in the annals of history. The day the Enola Gay dropped Little Boy on the city marked not only the end of thousands of lives, but also the dawn of the nuclear age. The echoes of that explosion still reverberate today, a haunting testament to the horrors of war and the devastating potential of nuclear weapons. Finally, we grappled with the aftermath and legacy of these events. The scars left on the landscape and the survivors tell a tale of resilience and recovery, but also of a world forever changed. The shadow of the mushroom cloud looms over us, a constant reminder of the destructive power we hold, and the imperative to prevent such devastation from reoccurring. As we reflect on these lessons from history, it's clear that remembering these events is not just about honoring the past. It's about understanding the gravity of our actions and decisions, about recognizing our capacity for destruction and our responsibility to prevent it. As we look to the future, may we never forget the past and strive for a world free from the shadow of nuclear devastation.